Klay Thompson's demise was really exaggerated. Everybody was writing Klay Thompson off after his preseason, but Thompson reminded everybody just how deadly he is. Thompson knocked down 6 3-pointers, the most ever for a Maverick in their debut for the franchise, and overall he finished with 22 points, 7 rebounds, and 3 steals in 26 minutes of action. As the Mavericks, they also got a nice punch from Luka Doncic, who finished with 28 points, 10 rebounds, and 8 assists, and Kyrie Irving chipped in with 15 points. The powerful trio of Thompson, Doncic, and Irving combined for 65 points to lead the Mavericks to a 120-109 season-opening win against Victor Wembanyama and the San Antonio Spurs. The Mavericks, they have never had a three-point shooter on the roster as prolific as Thompson. And if this is the Klay Thompson the Mavericks are getting, the Mavericks are going to be a serious problem in the Western Conference. In this one, guys, I'm going to be talking about how lethal the Mavericks look with this version of Klay Thompson and why Thompson on the Mavs does change everything for this team. If y'all can do yourself a favor, drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel for more Mavs content just like this. And shout out to BetUS for sponsoring today's video. The Mavericks, they lacked a third scoring option last year during their playoff run, and now they have that in Klay Thompson. Thompson is the key to unlocking the level of success the Mavs have been wanting to reclaim since winning the title in 2011. And you look at that roster last season, if they in fact hit their ceiling, then Thompson may be the missing piece to bring this Mavericks franchise a second championship. And I know all the talk was about Thompson, how he declined, and all the haters chimed in, but after that one, all the haters have been silenced. And the scary part is, guys, not only was Klay Thompson efficient, but he was getting some of the best looks of his career. And that's the thing, Thompson, he's going to get wide open shots. He is going to have cleaner looks than he's ever had, because when you have two of the best playmakers in the game on your team in Doncic and Irving, it's just going to make the game so easy for you. And Thompson, he alluded to that post game, as Thompson averaged 17.9 points per game last season on high volume 38% three-point shooting, and he can still be a big time asset as he proved in the right situation. And it looks like he's found that opportunity with Dallas. You look at Thompson's first bucket, it was on a pump and go step in pull up jumper, which came against a closeout. And then Thompson, he buried his first 3-pointer, and it was just a curl and shoot from the corner while nearly fading out of bounds. And then you talk about Thompson and how he's going to just evolve playing alongside Luka and how it's going to make his life easy. This Luka and Klay chemistry, it is really going to be something special. As you see here, Luka Doncic sees Klay trailing in transition, and then there you go, bucket. And then here, Thompson, I mean, he was left so wide open that he had to gather his shooting rhythm, and he had enough time to take a little single dribble, and then he put up the shot. And Luka Doncic had no doubts it was going in. I mean, Luka was ready to go down the floor. He did not have to look at it. He knew it was going to be a cash-in triple. I know it's just one game, but Klay Thompson already looks like an amazing fit with this Mavericks team. Now, guys, before I continue on with this video, I do want to talk about BetUS. And you look at the Mavericks, I know Charles Barkley isn't a believer of this team. I don't care what Charles Barkley has to say, quite frankly. I'm a believer of this Mavericks team. And when you look at the Western Conference landscape, look, I know it's tough. There's going to be a lot of teams jostling for position at the top of the West. But this Mavericks team, they're going to have a great shot, especially if they get this version of Klay. So you look at their odds to come out of the West right here, plus 500. Dallas, this is their first full season, remember, of having all these new players playing with each other. And now you're adding Klay Thompson. So, guys, if you sign up with BetUS today, you will get a 150% bonus on your first deposit and a 125% bonus on your second and third deposits up to $2,000 with the code YouTube150. Thank you to BetUS for sponsoring today's video. So, I mean, Thompson, this is a new life for him. He was always going to be held to the standard of his former self in Golden State. But with the Mavericks, I think it's a different situation because there's going to be times where Thompson struggles. I'm not saying he's always going to shoot as efficiently and effectively as he did, but the difference is Thompson's allowed to have off nights, because when Thompson isn't at the peak of his powers, he's got really good teammates to pick up the slack. Whereas in Golden State, he was expected to be the secondary piece behind Stephen Curry. But with Dallas, there's going to be less pressure on him, which means that's going to allow for Thompson to just casually fill this role and really be as effective as he was. You look at this Mavericks team, guys, they're not a finished product by any means. I mean, they did not shoot the ball particularly well in that first game, 41.2%, but they did get hot in the second half, especially with their three-point accuracy. They shot at 43.2%. And remember, shooting the basketball, especially from three, it was an issue for this team when they went up against the high-powered Celtics. And you know Klay Thompson's going to help with that three-point efficiency, as he already showed us. So you look at some other takeaways in this one, guys. I mean, Luka Doncic, he didn't play well in terms of shooting the basketball. He was just 9 of 25 from the floor, and he had 4 turnovers, but he did have 28 points, 10 rebounds, 8 assists. And I think for Luka, I mean, he's just going to have to get his legs back under him. Let's not forget, he missed the entire preseason, but with Klay Thompson spacing, I mean, this offense is going to be a nightmare for the opposition. I mean, it's going to be tough to guard Doncic at the helm when he does have Thompson spacing the floor and able to hit these clean open looks as he showed us. And then I also want to give a big shout out to Derek Lively. He didn't even start for the Mavericks, but he had a huge game, 15, 10, and 5. And really, guys, I mean, he outplayed Wembanyama once again. Lively the second, he played amazing interior defense, and he really held his own going against the Phenom. You know, he was able to slide his feet on the perimeter against Wemby. He made his life difficult, and Lively the second was just a monster on the glass all night long. You know, having those 11 rebounds and 4 of them being offensive boards, that's huge, and that's what Lively brings to this basketball team. He is so important to the success of the Mavericks going forward, and I think he's going to be even better in his sophomore season. So overall, the Mavericks, they look like a better version of themselves from a season ago. I know it's just one game. I know it comes against the Spurs, who are not penciled in as a playoff team this season, nor even a play-in team, but you like the fact that you started to see some things come together for the Mavericks, and the most important being Klay Thompson. He looks comfortable, he looks ready to go, and really, I think this is going to be a season of revenge for Klay Thompson, as he is going to be motivated to prove people wrong and prove to people that he still can be the clutch, effective scorer that we saw with the Golden State Warriors for all those years. So what are your thoughts on the Mavericks after the first game of the season? Are you confident in this team going forward? And do you think this Mav squad gets it done and wins it all? Klay Thompson was a brilliant debut for him, and you just hope he can build off this. Guys, that is it for today's video. As always, thank you so much for watching. Drop a like, subscribe to the channel before you get out of here. And once again, shout out to BetUS for sponsoring today's video. This is Lucas signing off. I will catch you all again in the next one.